Welcome back to Retro Bear and the Gaming Pantry and a new episode of Why I Love. Yes, this is the shorter videos that I tend to do where I talk about something from my other collection other than talking about games. And this week this episode's a bit of an unboxing special because I've had something sent to me. Yes, not trainers. Thank goodness, I've got plenty of those. But yes, I've had a package arrive for me and I thought, well, rather than just put this out of the way and not show it off, this is the perfect opportunity to do it because for those of you who watched my channel before over the last 18 months, 2 years or so will know that in the past I did a video about my Doctor Who VHS collection. And I covered all that in a video, which I'll stick a link into below. I may even put a graphic up here somewhere or something like that if I can work out how to do it. If you didn't see that, please go ahead and watch it. If you're a Doctor Who fan, it's really good and had some wonderful feedback on it. And people have asked me since, oh, are you going to do another video about that? Well, I covered pretty much everything in that video. So what I've got in here is an addition to that. And I have to thank my very good friend Gordon at Gib84 Gaming. Again, we'll whop a link in the description below. Go across and have a look at Gordon's channel, who just messaged me out of the blue and said, got found these. He says, do you want them? I said, if you're going to get rid of them, I'll happily have them, which he sent to me the day they arrived. And yes, so we got some Doctor Who stuff in here. Now, why do I love Doctor Who? Oh, very, very quickly, it was a big part of my childhood growing up. It was one of those programs which, yes, it looked cheap, and it was cheap, and it looked, badly made, and it was badly made, but it captured the imagination. Like so many shows over the years and things that I've read and things that I've watched and things that I've listened to, it captures the imagination, and that's the most important thing. Do I watch the new stuff? Yes, I do. Am I a fan of it? Not as much as I was, but we're not going to talk about that here and now. That's for another time and another place, as in, well, yeah, time and space really. So my thoughts and opinions on old Doctor Who are going to be in another video, but what I've got here is some things which Gordon very, very gratefully sent me. Now, I just opened this now and just have a quick look inside, and there's something in here which I didn't expect as well, which is great, which I'll show you first. So what we got in here is, first of all, he sent me is a Cyberman coaster, which is brilliant. So I shall put that downstairs in the main room. I've got coasters all over the place. It's like a roller coaster of a coaster ride. But yes, brilliant. So thank you very much for that, Gordon. I wasn't expecting it. I might even take it to work, actually. I could do the coaster for my desk. I haven't got one. So that'd be nice. Now, here we have proper VHS. Yes, VHS cassettes. Remember these, folks? Brilliant stuff. I used to love VHS. I still got loads of VHS. Well, if you go and see my Doctor Who collection, I've still got those. And I've still got loads of VHS to show off at some point. So this is it. Now, what we should have in here, okay, got 3 VHS cassettes, all from different areas of the show as well, which is really exciting. So let's show you what we got first. Now, from the original series, so the original run 1963-1989, we've got a classic season 14 Tom Baker episode. And do you know, I've never seen this all the way through. I've seen a couple of episodes, but I've never seen it from start to finish, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to get this off Gordon. Because this when I was reading about Doctor Who and Doctor Who I'd never seen, this was one of the classic episodes, and it came from the classic the season where they changed the TARDIS interior. So they had wood panelling everywhere. It was brilliant. The console was made of wood, and they don't change it like they do every season now. They changed it, I think, 3 or 4 times during the course of the original run of the series. This wooden panelling was brilliant. It's remembered so fondly by people who saw it at the time. And then what happened was, between seasons, the BBC put it into storage. And then when they kind of get it out of storage, they couldn't use it because all the wood panelling, because the way it had been stored, had warped, so it didn't fit properly. So they had to design a new TARDIS interior based on the previous TARDIS interior before they used the wooden stuff. So season 14 is the only season you will find like this wooden console room. Brilliant. So this is the Talons of Weng Chiang. Now at the time it was quite controversial because it has Chinese stereotypes in it, and perhaps given the time this was made about 1977, it'll tell me when this was originally broadcast. No, it won't. But when it was originally broadcast, there were some depictions of the Chinese characters in this which may have been very stereotypical and offensive. It's got things like triads. It's got a little ventriloquist dummy, which I'll show you down the bottom there, which goes around stabbing people. It's got giant rats in the sewer, which is basically a stuntman wearing a giant mouse costume. It's set in the Victorian times. It's got the classic Fourth Doctor as Tom Baker there. He is in his full Sherlock Holmes gear. It's got Louise Jameson as Leela, who started the series as a sort of tribes person, savage, but the Doctor takes her on and educates her a bit better. It's produced by Philip Hinchcliffe. It's written by Robert Holmes, a fantastic combination of a very gothic period of Doctor Who this was. And again, we mentioned Tom Baker there as Sherlock Holmes. He had a stab at Sherlock Holmes years later, and he said he regrets doing that. He said because he was far better being Sherlock Holmes in this when he wasn't being Sherlock Holmes. It's a 6-episode serial as well, which is unusual. And it's one of these old, brilliant, one of the really old video cassettes. So this is the 1988 release. There we go. So you can see there, yellow label on it. And no evidence of any damage to the tape as well, which is fantastic. I'm not sure how it survived now. When I was growing up, this was one of those serials which people said was one of the all-time greats, and I'm not quite sure how it's thought of now. But like I said, I've been sitting all the way through, so Gordon, thank you very much for that. Don't think it's the original release. I think this is maybe a redo over or a different case. I don't know. But it's got that classic Doctor Who logo on it. These are the original runs of those, so brilliant. So that's great. And the second one he's got much later. This is right at the very end. This is at the end of Doctor Who's run in 1989, the final series. This is actually the final serial of the old series, which ran from 1963 to 1989. By this point in the series, he's on its last legs. The BBC done everything they can to kill it. Michael Gray tried to cancel it in 1985, took it off air for 18 months, brought it back with Colin Baker, then got rid of him. Then they put Sylvester McCoy in, which he was very, very good. No problem with him being Doctor Who at all. The problem was they started putting the programme on at 7:30 on a weekday night, and then they finally, in the last series, they ran it against Coronation Street. Why they didn't cancel it, I don't know. It was evidently they did not want the programme to carry on. It moved from its traditional Saturday night slot out of the way on a Tuesday and a Thursday or something against Coronation Street, completely killed it. So this is the last run of, last serial of the original run of the series, and this is Survival. So you've got Sylvester McCoy as the Doctor, you've got Sophie, not the cat, Sophie Aldred as Ace, who is coming back for the next new Who episode when that's coming out, I think in October. Jodie Whittaker's last one, they're bringing her back, and Tegan as well. The villains in this one, or the enemies, are the cat people. And again, you might think that's a bit silly, someone dressed up as a cat. Well, yes, but so what? That's Doctor Who. And you've also got the late, great Anthony Ainley there as the Master, who played the character for about 10 years during the season's final 10 years of the series. Of course, the Master is a very, very well-known character. Keep bringing him back now, the Doctor's arch enemy, nemesis, etc. And this was originally transmitted 22nd of November to the 6th of December 1989, written by Rona Munro and produced by John Nathan Turner. And it's only a 72-minute episode, this one, so my guess this is a 3-parter, because Doctor Who tends to run in 24-minute episodes, I think. So this is half the length of the other one. But yeah, the very, very last one. Life's not a game. I'm teaching you the art of survival. I'm teaching you to fight back. And it's set on Earth as well, so this is the last one. Now again, no problems with the tape there at all, as you can see. BBC video on there, and there's a nice little inlay. Oh, what's this here? We've got a postcard. Look at that postcard. Wow, did you know that was in there, Gordon? That's brilliant. So I've got a Doctor Who postcard, Survival Collector Card number 6. This is from October 1985, this video release. It's quite funny because they released this. There's some production notes and things in there as well on the inside of the inlay. This was, I'm not sure whether it's been the last video release, but once they released all these on VHS, I believe they went and released everything on DVD as well. I think with the VHS stuff, not everything got released because there were some serials which are incomplete. BBC wiped the archives in the 70s. Because they didn't think people would want to watch programmes from the 1960s 20, 30, 40 years later, so they wiped a load of tapes. That's a video in itself. So, but anything that survived, and then what they've done with DVD releases is they've used animation, they've used audio recordings, etc., etc. They even found some episodes to try and complete these and get them all out on there. So I'm not sure where that fits into the run, but yeah, there we go. So that's Survival from 1989. That's a video release from 1995, which is brilliant. So fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Gordon, and a collector's card. And then finally, this leads in quite nicely because this bridges the gap between the old Doctor Who to the new Doctor Who, and this is what they tried to do in 1996, I think it was. Does it say on here? I'll just be trying to see. No, it doesn't. Doesn't tell me. Okay. But this is what they tried to do. They tried to bring Doctor Who back in 1996, felt it was the right time to do it. The BBC, I think it was Universal in America, teamed up to do a co-production, fund it together, put a TV movie out there to see if it would take off, and it didn't. Many reasons why. It was got good viewers over here. I think BBC showed it during a bank holiday, and it did very, very well, gave it a lot of promotion. But on the American side of things, it flopped, and there wasn't enough interest, and Universal said, well, we're not doing that. So they pulled out. New Doctor, new Master, and a new companion. Although there is a nod to Sylvester McCoy, he does get his regeneration scene in this one. We're talking about the Doctor Who movie, of course, starring Paul McGann. He's back and it's about time. The sensational feature-length film starring Paul McGann, Eric Roberts and Daphne Ashbrook. Eric Roberts was cast as the Master. Eric Roberts, more famously known as being Julia Roberts' brother, and also starring in a series of, well, any film that he made pretty much after. He wasn't in Sleeping with the Enemy, was he? That was somebody else. He had a couple of decent films, and then he just ended up being stuck into straight to VHS, stroke DVD, stroke Blu-ray hell. And he's not very good in this either. He's terrible as a Master. Daphne Ashbrook as the assistant called Grace, I think, in this one. And there's a lot of silly kissing business that goes on in this series, in this particular episode. Paul McGann, though, is very, very good as Doctor Who. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of people think he should have been given more of an involvement in the new Who, maybe even brought back when the series was revived as the 8th Doctor, which he's in this one. He's not wiped from Doctor Who history. He's part of that timeline. He's still there. He got an opportunity to come back as a Doctor for the 50th anniversary, where he shot a 13-minute mini episode where he shows his regeneration. And he's done loads of audio dramas for Big Finish. If you don't know, when Doctor Who was off the air, there was loads of audio dramas that they did with using Paul McGann, but also other Doctors and companions as well. That's, again, minefield to go through. I'm not going to go through it there and then. Here we go. But as you can see, there's a BBC Doctor Who video in its entirety. This one runs about 85 minutes, is it, I think? 85 minutes. I hope I got this right with Universal. Yeah, Universal Television, there we go. So there we go, and also on the inside there as well, and we've got some sort of shots of Doctor Who videos that you could buy at the time. There's a couple of classics in there. If you feel on that one, I had originally. But yeah, so all sorts of really exciting stuff, and I just love this. I've had this on DVD, and I did sell it because I've got rid of all my Doctor Who DVDs, which I had. I kept the VHS. Work that one out for yourself. But yeah, so this bridges the gap quite nicely. So if you like Doctor Who, you've never seen it, I would give it a go. Does it work as something standalone? Not really. It's a bit of a week-old story. Not the greatest, but fantastic gifts here from Gordon at Gib 84, and of course the coaster as well. Another big part of my childhood. And yes, I'm sure, as you can imagine, Mrs. Bear was thrilled, absolutely ecstatic that there's some more VHS is making its way into the house, when technically, you know, it should be making its way to the tip. That's what she thinks anyway. But no, I did ask. I said, do you mind if I get some sent from Doctor Who VHS? I like to ask first. It's always very helpful. Gordon, thank you once again for sending those down. They're brilliant. They go straight to my collection. I should keep those handy. And that's why I love Doctor Who. Well, you know, like I said, a much longer video with a bigger explanation as to why. I'll stick that in the description below. I'll stick a link to Gordon's channel as well. Do go across and thank him for sending me those videos. What a nice lad he is as well. I really appreciate it. And that's it for this particular episode. I'll be back again very, very soon with another one. Something from my vast collection of stuff, stroke tat, stroke interests. And I shall be inflicting that upon you soon. But until then, thanks very much indeed for watching. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.